These sensitive ass that just came out of this little, I don't know where they come from, but niggas be getting wild emotional. Niggas be turning into big super p***s. Just be trying to have fun.
If Busta ever try to front on me, hit you with no delay, so what you saying, yo? Silly with that 9 milli, what the devil, yo? Yeah, I do his better than him. He better not play with me. I will and perform Busta Rhymes show.
I'm not gonna say it on here. They call them fun boys. They'll say we gotta have some fun boys in the section for Busta. Bro, Busta Rhymes wanted him in his section so bad. Like, what? Pulled him to the section, like through the rope, and tucked him off in the corner. So I'm looking like, well, he ain't come with us.
I'm walking through the crowd and somebody grabs my hand. Just softly put their hand in my hand and just hold it. So I look, you know, and I see this big chain that said flip mode. I look up and it's Busta Rhymes.
Did he do it, right?
Yeah.
I know he did it. You've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it.
And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually.
Oh, you've been saying this for a long time now.
Busta Rhymes is reportedly losing it right now.
Busta Rhymes is reportedly spiraling right now, and the word going around is he's threatening 50 Cent over some explosive footage set to drop in 50's upcoming Diddy docu series. Now we all know 50's been keeping receipts on Diddy and his crazy parties for years, but what's got Busta sweating bullets? Insiders are saying there's actual footage of Busta caught right in the middle of Diddy's chaos, and that's just the start. A while back, Busta's former bodyguard, Big Homie CC, spoke out, claiming Busta's been into fun boys for a long time. According to him, the whole club scene knew about it. Big Homie even said some promoters used to have young men ready in VIP just to keep Busta lit whenever he came through. And now it's looking like 50 may actually have the receipts to confirm it. Sources close to the situation say a video exists from one of Diddy's wild parties, allegedly showing Busta and Diddy deep in a wild session with multiple men, possibly adult workers hired by Diddy himself. If this footage drops, it could blow things wide open.
Busta, I got to ask you, there has been so much going on in the music industry pertaining to Diddy. How closely are you paying attention to his case, the allegations?
I don't pay attention to none of it. I just kind of like to pay attention to the truth.
But wait, it gets even messier. Now, multiple men are coming forward, claiming Busta allegedly made some real uncomfortable moves on them. They're saying every time they bumped into him, he'd be pushing hard for them to hit the party scene with him.
Multiple men are stepping forward, claiming Busta allegedly made them super uncomfortable. They're saying that anytime they crossed paths with him, he'd be pressing them to pull up to parties. Diddy stole, and at this rate, Busta might be next in line for a full-on expose. With 50 Cent steering the wheel on this Netflix doc, Busta's threats are only adding more gas to the fire. If anything, he might have just locked in an even bigger spotlight for himself in 50's project. So the real question is why the panic? What kind of dirt does 50 Cent actually have that's got Busta this rattled? Because one thing's for sure, something big is bubbling behind the scenes.
I'm out with a group of people. At this time, I was with Don Benjamin. You familiar with him?
No, never heard of him.
Model dude, like a model guy. He be doing like some rapping and stuff. His name Don Benjamin. I'm out with Don Benjamin, and the club we ended up going to, Busta Rhymes in there. So it was a little lawyer guy that was with us.
But
now, with everything else going on, it's hitting way different. Insiders say 50 wasn't just clowning around. He's dead serious and might actually be holding on to some insane footage of Busta and Diddy caught up in some madness. But before we even get into that, let's rewind to those wild claims about Busta's VIP preferences and those long-running Fun Boys rumors. In case you missed it, Busta's former bodyguard, Big Homie CC, recently dropped a bombshell during an interview with The Art of Dialogue. He didn't hold back, straight up called Busta a super zest monster, and said he's been acting real sus around young dudes for years.
So lawyer guy we was with, you know, he was a gay dude, super cool, feel me, good guy. Bro, Busta Rhymes wanted him in his section so bad. Like, what? Pulled him to the section, like through the rope, and tucked him off in the corner. So I'm looking like, well, he ain't come with us, but I know he was in the little group. So if I go out with somebody, like a group of people, I try to make sure everybody get there together and leave.
And according to Big Homie, this wasn't even some big secret in the industry, especially not with club promoters. Allegedly, whenever Busta was booked for an event, promoters already knew the deal. They'd have his VIP section fully loaded, with the kind of entertainment he liked. And from the sounds of it, this was business as usual.
No, he stayed with them. He stayed in there with them, bro. For sure, bro. You ain't never heard about this before, have you? Bro, this is common knowledge, bro. Like, if you in the mix, bro. If you in the mix, like I've been in the mix, you know this, bro.
Big Homie didn't stop there. He spilled some more tea about a crazy night at the club that involved actor model Don Benjamin and a friend of his, who just happened to be gay. And according to Big Homie, the moment Busta Rhymes spotted the guy, it was on.
I hear somebody say, oh, he's cute, I want him. So when I heard that, I turned around like, man, did he just say that? Well, you got all this jewelry to attract some men in here? You wild. Shocked me. But sure enough.
And that was the guy that Busta Rhymes pulled back?
He pulled him into the section.
He claimed Busta moved in quick, pulled the guy straight into his VIP, and here's the wild part. He wouldn't let him go. Big Homie said Busta stayed on him all night like they were attached at the hip, and this wasn't some one-time thing. They even walled the area off. Big Homie said the guy looked stunned but super excited. According to him, promoters already had a system in place whenever Busta showed up. They knew to line up the flyest dudes for his VIP. Once Busta that had his eyes on someone, it was game over. He reportedly called the guy cute all night and made sure he never left the section.
How long has it been like this known about Busta Rhymes?
Well, I knew about this like in 2012. I knew about this in 2012.
How can we think nobody else speaks up on it or says anything?
Because, bro, these people admire these people so much. They want to make sure they in the section.
But this is where things go left. Big Homie says that people in the industry have been hip to Busta's real preferences for over a decade. When asked why no one ever said anything, Big Homie kept it blunt. I knew about this back in 2012. Why didn't people speak out? Because they idolize these celebs. Everyone wants to stay close, stay in that VIP. That's the real reason. Then Big Homie dropped another bomb that's not getting enough attention. Allegations about how Busta's allegedly treated women. He hinted that, like some men who secretly live another lifestyle, Busta might be harboring resentment toward women, and it could be showing up in his behavior. He mentioned how Busta lashes out at women in public for small things like touching him or getting too close.
Day at the club, day at the video shoot, they can get backstage. That matters most to them. That matters so much to people. It's crazy. Like, but if you notice, like, there's countless videos of Busta Rhymes getting mad at females for just being girls. This girl touched him one time, he go crazy, throw a drink on her and everything. See what I'm saying? Like, what? Why are you getting mad at females?
There's even a clip of Busta throwing a drink at a woman just for brushing up against him. Big Homie says that's a pattern and not a new one. And if you think this is just one ex-bodyguard chasing clout, think again. There's a line of men now coming forward with their own wild Busta stories. Back in 2020, social media personality Trip Ollie hit YouTube with a shocking claim that Busta tried to pick him up in NYC on Halloween.
You go to these guys, they in the club, go to their section. It's all men in the section. That ain't weird to nobody. I'm going to the bar, sorry. Text me if it get dangerous. But there's all this club security in here, like nothing's finna happen. Nobody wanna get you guys, bro. Like, when I get jobs from people who really got a threat on their life, I move way different. But man, you ask, bro, anybody that's in the mix, bro, like you know, bro.
Trip said Busta personally invited him to the VIP at first. He thought it was just a regular party move, but it flipped quick. Things got way more intense than expected. He ended up in a heated argument with his own friend who wasn't feeling the idea of them rolling to Busta's spot.
Most of these dudes, bro, putting on a major act. They don't want to be themselves.
It's crazy.
They'll get mad at you for buying bottles of champagne to get the girls. They'll get mad, oh, we don't want these bottle rats in our section. What are we here for? Why are y'all here then? What are y'all here for? Just because y'all got booked to be here, okay, but sometimes they not booked. They just in there. So, and what they looking for, it ain't gonna be what you thinking of, on God. Seen it.
But if
the fight got so serious it turned physical. Trip was so thrown off, he ditched the entire plan. His friend even left him stranded alone in the middle of NYC, but looking back, he felt like maybe that was a blessing in disguise, because who knows what could have gone down if he had actually stepped foot into that VIP that night. Fast forward to 2021, and the whispers came back. Word was, Busta was allegedly out here again, trying to recruit men in the club scene, and then paparazzi reportedly caught him leaving a gay pride event with a trans woman, adding even more flames to the fire. And just recently, Orlando Brown got the internet buzzing again.
We made love.
Who you made love with?
Diddy, Bow Wow, Busta Rhymes.
You just told me you see Busta at the airport too. That motherfucker try to act like he didn't know you. You smashed Drake?
No, I never smashed.
Oh, you made love to Drake.
What's that name? Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard. Usher. Usher's a gusher.
Orlando claimed he'd hooked up with multiple men in the industry, not just Diddy, but Busta too, plus a long list of other names. Now, most folks usually laugh off Orlando's rants, but
walking, New York City, you know, going to a club. It was Halloween weekend, you know, everybody was out. And it was this party we was going to, me, my boy, and his friend that had came in from Detroit. And I'm walking across the street.
If you really pay attention to some of his more recent interviews, where he sounds a lot more calm and collected, he's actually making some sense. Now, if Busta really is on the DL, that's one thing, but what folks aren't talking about enough is how, like Diddy, he's had a long history of putting hands on people over petty stuff.
Busta Rhymes just grabbed my hand. And he's shaking, he holding my hand. Now, I ain't know it was Busta at first. You know, Busta Rhymes tall. I'm sure I came up to about right here. So the first thing I noticed was this big flip mode chain that was blinding me. So I look at the chain and I'm like, and I look up, I'm like, oh, what's up, Busta? What's up?
Busta was quick to...
His legal drama goes all the way back to 2006 when prosecutors tried to charge him for having a weapon after an altercation with a random guy. And get this, he allegedly had a machete in his car. Then in 2007, Busta got hit with another charge, this time for allegedly roughing up his own driver over a money dispute. He pled guilty and got 3 years probation. But the mess didn't stop. In 2009, the New York Post exposed another situation. Busta had to pay $75,000 to a fan who said Busta threw water bottles at him and told his bodyguard to punch him in the face. All the fan did was try to leave early. He was there to see Fabulous, but when Fab didn't show up, he tried to head out while Busta was still on stage. That's when Busta allegedly snapped, yelling, "Get down, I'm not good enough for you," before launching more bottles and setting his security on him. If you know Busta's rep for having a short fuse,
now he holding my hand the whole time. I'm like, what's up, man? Like, what you doing? And I was like, oh, me and my people, we about to go to this club around the corner. What's up, man? You know, and then I noticed throughout my peripheral vision, the side eye, this big bodyguard in black. Just standing there, you know, looking around, you know, looked at me, you know.
It honestly ain't all that surprising. Busta's been close with Diddy since way back in the 90s. But aside from the anger issues, there's another rumor floating around that both of them share a thing for much younger men. And let's be real, Busta's whole reaction to this Diddy situation, it's looking real suspect. Because when the Diddy accusations started catching fire,
you know, I'm about to go in this club. You know, we got a section. You know, you can come in with me if you want. And I'm like, word, for real? Like, that's what's up. Like, he was like, yeah. I was like, well, I gotta, you know, tell my people. I was like, I come in. You know what I'm saying? He was like, okay, just let me know, you know, tell them that you coming in there to meet with me and come on up. And I was like, bet. So, of course, I'm excited. You know what I'm saying? Busta Rhymes is one of my favorite artists of all time.
Busta was quick to hop on and tell folks to hold off on judging, saying not to jump to conclusions, and that had people giving him major side-eye. Like, why speak up at all unless you're low-key trying to cover for someone? Especially when it's about serious DVSA allegations with multiple victims, including young ones, telling people to mind their business in a situation this heavy. It doesn't help his case, it just makes him look even more questionable. Now fast forward, the Diddy scandal's gone nuclear. Federal raids, lawsuits flying, and now a full-blown indictment. And suddenly Busta's out here acting like he don't even know Diddy. Ducking interviews, sidestepping the drama, but come on, let's keep it real. He can't run from this forever. Word is, 50 Cent's upcoming Diddy doc is about to start dropping real names, and allegedly, Busta Rhymes is one of them. If there's one thing we know about 50, he never forgets a thing. He's one of the few rappers who never partied with Diddy and saw through the shady stuff from the beginning. 50's always moved strategic and sharp. Just because he wasn't partying with Diddy doesn't mean he wasn't watching everything unfold. Trust, he was sitting back, mentally clocking every artist that accepted those private invites. And now 50's ready to blow the whole lid off. Insiders say this documentary could be the industry's worst nightmare because nobody's safe. For years, people have whispered about which rappers were allegedly involved in things they'd never want made public, and yet Busta Rhymes' name is reportedly on that list. We don't have an official release date just yet, but here's what we do know. 50's producing it under G-Unit Films and Television Inc., and it's headed to Netflix. It's being directed by Emmy-winning filmmaker Alex Stapleton, so you already know it's gonna be raw and unfiltered. And here's where it gets spicy. Busta already knows what's coming. Sources close to him say he's been making calls, trying to move things behind the scenes, and even warned 50 to keep his name out of it. But let's be honest, 50 don't play that. Threatening him, that probably just made him go even harder. If you know 50 Cent, you know he lives to double down. The more someone tries to silence him, the louder he gets. So if Busta really is on that list, there's no chance 50's backing off now.